You are only going to be as successful as the people in your group chat. You need someone checking in with you and you checking in on them and saying, hey, how are you doing today?
What do you do balancing being a successful businesswoman and also all the other responsibilities you do? I know we were talking yesterday about you have two beautiful boys, they don't miss a practice, you don't miss any PTA meetings. How do you balance that, being a mother or being a woman, the responsibility is there, and then also being a successful woman altogether?
Yeah, it's a lot, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot, and on certain days you are beat to the ground, and then when you see your children are smiling, you see your husband is smiling, it's all worth it. So one of the things that I started to do was I would have, as women, you know, we have to-do lists. And that to-do list isn't like most men's where it's just work. So my husband's to-do list is just work items. My to-do list is work, family, wife, recipes for the week. And the thing about me is I was raised in the South. I'm from North Carolina originally. So, you know, when you have a Southern mother and you see how you have a Southern upbringing, you know, you're raised a certain way. I want to make sure that I'm cooking for my family every day. I don't want to have to hire someone to do that because I find joy in it. I want to make sure my kids have clean clothes. My kids are in, you know, basketball, private swim lessons. They are literally in everything. They'll know because I be texting them from there, like, and I'll be dead sick at times, like dead to the world. And they'll be like, you're outside. And I'll be like, yeah, well, I'm gonna go in. He got swim lessons and then basketball practice. Then he got the book club and then I'm going in, I promise. But as I'm going, you find that strength. And then you, as a woman, you have to find a way to balance it so you don't go crazy. And mine was, I took my to-do list from like 100 things, and I was telling someone in the mastermind this to help his wife, from 50 things, and I mean, it was legit. I showed him my to-do list, and he'll tell you what it used to look like. It was legit like 50 things on there, to 5 a day. So I put 5 things to do on my to-do list, 4 smaller, 1 major. So now at the end of the day, I feel accomplished when I get through those 5 things. Whereas before, I would have 50 things. I could get through 20, but I didn't feel accomplished because I couldn't get everything. And I was going to bed with headaches, migraines. I was snapping on everybody, but it was me internally. I started meditation, which as a visionary, in me and my husband's relationship and in business, I'm a visionary, he's an integrator. As a visionary, your mind is always going. My mind is constantly going. And I learned that I had to slow it down. And an individual in a mastermind had told me this, so I literally just started meditation. And he taught me how to do it in the mornings before I transition into work, and then do it in the evenings as I transition out of work into family time. So I'm not bringing all that into my next space. And it has worked tremendously for me. I mean, tremendously. I mean, he a little happier, you know. Cause I'm not stressed, I'm not snapping, but it has literally centered me because I really learned myself that trying to manage a household, a business, still be a wife, because you know they want you to still perform them wifely duties, and you beat to the ground, and you know kids hanging off hips and stuff. I had to make sure I showed up for everybody, but more importantly, myself first. So.
I think the biggest thing that was a pivotal part, so we're all visionaries, I'm sure you could tell. But a visionary, for anyone who doesn't know or hasn't read the book Traction, a visionary is the person who has a ton of ideas. Their brain isn't, Traction is the book, because I see a couple people writing. So their brain literally does not shut off. Like, it's just going. Most of you as entrepreneurs, you will be that visionary. And what happens in this space is that you don't find harmony in the things. I used to use the word balance, but I feel like balance it's never going to happen. Everything needs to coexist together, and sometimes things are going to take a little bit more priority. Like the last 2 weeks have been about restructuring our business and giving people tasks and making sure that everyone's accountable. And that means that sometimes other things might take the back burner. But at the end of the day, there's an episode, it's called the MF CEO podcast, very fitting, I know. But there is an episode on there about basically having 3 things that you can use. It's called the power list. 3 things that are tasks for you that will actually push the needle forward. Not the basic stuff, right? Like, I mean, if you're gonna brush your teeth, like, don't put that on the list because you know you're gonna accomplish that anyways. But things that will actually push the needle in your business, in your personal life. But the biggest thing is, please go to therapy.
Yes.
Get to therapy, seriously. Even if you had the most amazing childhood, even if you feel like nothing in the world, you ain't got everybody else messed up, but you not. You the reason I'm going to therapy. I go to therapy because you don't go to therapy, and I got to deal with you. So I use a spiritual healer as my therapist. So my therapist is actually not a licensed counselor. So it's even at a higher vibration, in my personal opinion. But you find whatever fits for you. I do it through a phone call. She's virtual, and we make amazing progress every week. And I think everybody that's around me could definitely attest to this.
So get in a group chat. I'm gonna say that again. Get in a group chat. We're gonna keep.
That's a bar.
Well, so there's a little backstory. So we were at an event, and Max was actually the guest speaker there. See, we just all travel to events around the country together. But the guy was saying, who was interviewing Max, he said, and they were talking about accountability and having a support system, and he said, you are only going to be as successful as the people in your group chat. And the 3 of us looked at each other, we lit up, we like, oh my God, he's talking about us, right? Like,
we're doing good, guys.
And seriously, because like getting in a group chat of accountability sisters, accountability partners, male, female, I don't care if it's a male and female group, whatever it is, you need someone checking in with you and you checking in on them and saying, hey, how are you doing today? How are the kids today? How's this today? Because life is about more than just your business. Obviously, right? And that's what we're talking about. Like trying to find that harmony to where you are, yes, you have a successful business, you have a successful relationship, you're successful across so many different platforms, but at the end of the day, we're all striving, right? Like we don't just wake up today and then everything in our life is perfect. No, you have your ebbs and flows. And so having those people that can, like I said, check in with you, hold you accountable on the days that you like, yo, I'm not feeling it, throw the whole day away. Throw the whole day away, throw the business away, get the kids back. like, matter of fact, raise your hand if you have an accountability group. That's not enough people. That's not enough. Can you raise your hands again? I want you guys to take a look around the room. Because those who didn't raise their hands, that means you are out here really trying to do this by yourself. Yep. And if we were, you can put your hands down, thank you. If we were supposed to do this thing by ourselves, then God wouldn't have created every single other person besides you.
I just wanted to add self-care is very, very critical. Self-care. One of the best presentations I heard was by Michelle Obama, and this changed my life. And she said that it's so important for us to schedule ourselves on our calendar. Yep. So before you take appointments, before you do anything else, make sure you put time for yourself. For me, it's if I'm working out or if I'm gardening. Tony gets mad at me sometimes because I'm in the garden too long, but that's my stress relief. And I'm a happier, more whole person when I make sure I put in time for me. So schedule yourself.